Donald Trump is going to give a scary answer to a question about whether or not he accepts the endorsement of a well-known white supremacist.
Will you unequivocally condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election?
Well, just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, did he endorse me or what's going on? Because, you know, I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. And so you're asking me a question that I'm supposed to be talking about people that I know nothing about.
But I guess the question from the Anti-Defamation League is, even if you don't know about their endorsement, there are these groups and individuals endorsing you. Would you just say unequivocally you condemn them and you don't want their support?
Well, I have to look at the group. I mean, I don't know what group you're talking about. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about. I have to look. If you would send me a list of the groups, I will do research on them. And certainly I would disavow if I thought there was something wrong. But you may have groups in there that are totally fine, and it would be very unfair. So give me a list of the groups and I'll let you know.
Okay. I mean, I'm just talking about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan here, but...
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know David Duke. I don't believe I've ever met him. I'm pretty sure I didn't meet him, and I just don't know anything about him.
Wow. Jake Tapper was crystal clear there. He said David Duke and white supremacists. Do you disavow David Duke white supremacists and white supremacists? You know what white supremacists are, Donald. Okay, even you know that. And then he goes on to say, yeah, the Ku Klux Klan. The look on his face is priceless. Jake Tapper, when he realizes that Trump is doing a tap dance and he ain't answering the question. He's like, no, okay, the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, you don't know who that is? You're not going to disavow the Ku Klux Klan? I was like, well, you know, I got to do more research. I don't know who these guys are, and you're asking me to talk on something. I don't know anything about them. No, but wait, Donald, he just said David Duke and white supremacists. And then he went on to say David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan. You're not disavowing them? You're not disavowing them. He's like, I don't know, I got to do research. So, oh, man, we're in a scary place, man. Okay, understand that Trump has retweeted neo-Nazis twice. Now, that doesn't mean he is a neo-Nazi. It just means that he sees a tweet that's written by a neo-Nazi where he looks at the point and he goes, I kind of agree with that. And he retweets it. Now, he didn't know that it was neo-Nazi accounts, but when people did fact-finding, it was neo-Nazi accounts. And one of these stories became huge because, of course, it was a fake graphic from a made-up bureau where they say, oh, yeah, black people kill like 93% of white people. Some stupid shit like that. Trump fell for it, retweeted it. Just this weekend, Gawker played a prank on Donald because they knew it would work. They started a Twitter account, Il Duce 2016. You know who Il Duce is? I'm sure many of you do. You're political junkies. But for those of you who don't, it's okay. It's just not your job to know all this stuff. Il Duce is Benito Mussolini, the fascist leader who was with the Axis powers in World War II, who was aligned with Hitler. Notorious, horrible dude. Horrible dude. He's a fascist leader. In fact, he came up with fascism. Okay, they put on Il Duce 2016, they tweeted at Donald Trump, a Benito Mussolini quote, something along the lines of, it's better to live a day as a lion than 100 years or 1,000 years as a sheep. And they said it was a quote of his. He retweeted it. Here we got a guy retweeting neo-Nazis, retweeting fascist quotes that are attributed to him where he agrees and he thinks it's him and he retweets it. And he's refusing to denounce the KKK and white supremacists here. This is scary. And he's not only the overwhelming leader and frontrunner on the Republican side, the most likely scenario is he gets the nomination for good tomorrow, Super Tuesday. Like, he'll wrap it up tomorrow. He's either doing it to try to pander for votes, which is certainly likely and possible, okay? Or he's doing it because he has genuine white nationalist sympathies, which there's a great argument that he does. Or a mix of both. He wants the votes and he has white nationalist sympathies. Yeah, I mean, look, if you go out there and constantly argue that we should deport all 11 million, 12 million undocumented immigrants, yeah, I don't know what else to call that other than just a version of white nationalism. I mean, you're going to deport all 11 million, 12 million, even if they didn't commit a crime, even if they've been here for years, even if they've been very productive. No, deport them all, deport them all, deport them all, deport them all, deport them all. Then maybe I let some in, maybe if I think about it and I like it. Build a huge wall, keep out the brown-skinned people, and stop all Muslims from coming into the U.S. temporarily. Yeah, man, this is, you're seeing it right here. This is scapegoating 101. This is far-right politics 101. Blame the other, blame the immigrant, blame the minority. It's all their fault. If they're not here, we'd live in a utopia. I got bad news for all those people. That's not true. And furthermore, this doesn't end well. We've seen similar things in history, and it's a scary thing to witness.